Jack, are you frozen?
Sam, are you there?
Yeah, Jack, are you frozen?
Sam, are you there?
Yeah, Jack, are you frozen?
Sam, are you there?
What are we even doing here?
Yo, Wi-Fi fighting, but they holding it down. How about them J-era Maz ballers running Beantown? They say these guys are ridiculous, yet probably true. Like the 23 Celtics, they got a deep crew. Pregame Paul Papa trying to make some bank. Professor Pete repping Latvia, KP the thank. RJ's on the email taking fools to college. Joey, Matt, Timo, Robin, let's acknowledge. What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Checking Sam, talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here? In the garden, fighting for a quiet spot. Jack's taking notes while the crowd gets hot. Irate, insightful, not a diplomat. Sam's got a long list and it's just for rats. Rat list your Wi-Fi, rat list your dog. Rat list Bronny, rat list LeBron. Rat list the traffic, rat list the song. Rat list that's getting too long. What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Checking Sam, talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here? Might think they're chill, but don't get it twisted. They're not just hustling, they're highly gifted. Still new to the scene and making their mark. It's a humble beginning, it's a hero's arc. Sam's keeping it real with the Starkey vibe, but he's all in with Jack when it's time to ride. Yo, ass hat in the chat, Jack says don't come back. He's got zero patience for nonsense attacks. What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Checking Sam, talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here? What are we even doing here? We're taking the crown. Jack and Sam talking Celtics and breaking it down. Competition can't keep up, they're starting to frown. What are we even doing here?
Whoa, we made it. Happy game day, everybody. Celtics Cavs, Wednesday night, ESPN, TD Garden. We're here. Jack and I made it up the elevator in time to do the show on time. And big shout out to Nick for joining us. Second time this season. Welcome back.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Celtics looking for their first home win of the season. They got their first win on Monday, if you want to call it that. I was like joking pregame. I was like, do they have a real win yet? Because the Pelicans team they played is like a nothing team. Did you have any big takeaways from the New Orleans game, Nick?
It was really tough to get, too excited. Once I seen that Zion was out, I was like, I kind of took a lot out of the game for me. I guess what I took away from it was, we're better than the Pelicans, so that's good.
That's a good point.
That's good. But no, I thought Kata played much better than he did in the first couple of games. I thought on defense his timing was phenomenal. I thought he had some blocks where he was super high. So I like that. But of course, Josh Minott, I'm not sure if we have the starting lineups yet, but
not yet.
Against this Cleveland team with a lot of size, he gave us 9 rebounds the last game. So I would think that he would be the guy to start unless it's Chris Boucher or somebody. But I think Minott played good enough to start again. So I'm interested to see what that looks like.
Yeah, I think Minott's probably the best option unless they wanted to do what they did with Ugo against Cade and put him on Donovan Mitchell or something and say, okay, here, just go pick him up full court, go piss him off, and then do that. But then that leaves you pretty small. Honestly, I think they're going to struggle to get rebounds in this game no matter who's playing because it's just Mobley and Allen. So I like Minott. I think that's the best option. Honestly, I think Minott, Boucher, and Kata would probably be the most ideal, but then I don't think you bench one of Derek, Peyton, or Jalen. I just don't think any of those guys hit the bench often this season, if at all. So I don't know.
We do know that Jalen's playing today. He was questionable, or probable, rather, on the injury report with the hamstring. We don't yet know if Donovan Mitchell's playing. Did they say he's not? Kenny Atkinson. First of all, I'm pretty sure the Cavs got here late. I think their bus actually hit traffic. He did joke with us. Was like, Boston traffic, huh? But he was super late to the presser. And then he said Donovan Mitchell has a hamstring issue that kind of popped up. So we may not even see them roll out Donovan Mitchell today. He's out there right now running Don't really know what that means for him playing, but he was on the court warming up, signing an autograph right now as we speak. What do you have for us, Jack?
I was just looking online. Donovan
Yes.
Mitchell just went on ESPN and said, "I'll be playing." So he'll be playing, I guess.
Yeah, he just
Breaking news.
I was looking at this on Twitter. He just told a Cavs reporter, "I'm fine." So, I guess that means he's playing. So, yep, we'll see Donovan Mitchell.
Well, that's great. I'm glad we don't have another New Orleans situation here because that would be lame. I was so afraid of that. Eating dinner in the media room, lovely pasta bar they had for us today. Everybody ate. I was like, man, are we going to have another game where we watch the Celtics and we don't really learn that much because they're playing against – well, even without Donovan Mitchell, the Cavs have a solid team. Like, they are not the Pelicans. I do not want to put that disrespect on the Cavaliers. But to have 2 back-to-back games, no star for the other team would be tough. But, yeah, work cut out for Boston today for sure, no doubt. Cleveland off to a 3-1 start.
Yeah, I'm just really interested to see like who guards who because of course with Ugo in the New York game and then he started in the Pistons game, he was on Cade and he was on Jalen Brunson and then in the Pistons game when he came out, Mana was on Cade doing the exact same thing, picking him up 94 feet. So I'm interested to see what happens in this game. I think mine out on Donovan Mitchell might be a little too much for me, even though I love his like energy and his length and his size. Dono's just like I don't really want to see that too often, but exactly. He's different. And like Cade and Brunson are phenomenal players, but I think Dono's just like I don't know, it's crazy. But again, like Jack said, if we put him on Donovan, that means who's playing the 4 on defense. It's just I don't really know. So we'll see. This will be a great test for the Celtics, a great test for Kata. I remember some of those Cavs games last year. There was one where he played very solid, and then there was one where he didn't at all. So, yeah, this will be a great test.
I do wonder if there's any thought of let's run the Ugo lineup. Let's let like Jalen or Pritchard guard Evan Mobley. Just say like fuck you. We're gonna put this motherfucker on.
Jalen,
shoot as many threes as you want. I don't give a shit. If you want to post up, we'll live with that because we don't think you're like that. And that way it like takes the ball out of Donovan Mitchell's hands for one. Yes. Make Evan Mobley beat you to a degree. And listen, I like Evan Mobley. I think he's a phenomenal defender, like incredible player. I don't think he's proven that he's like that offensively just yet. And so like I don't think Pritchard's ready to do the type of shit that Drew is doing. No one's Drew. No one will ever be Drew. Pritchard's like a fucking, those in like a parking lot when there's like just cement pole behind the car so you don't back up into shit. That's Peyton Pritchard. It feels like he's just like a motherfucker. Like he doesn't move. That's good
fire
screens.
hydrants.
Yeah, fire hydrant. Perfect. Like I'm not sure if that is anything they would consider. I think Jalen, like you said, Nick would be a better option. But like I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate them saying, we're gonna stick with Ugo. We're gonna be a little small, and you know what, Evan Mobley, if you want to run the offense that bad, try your fucking best because at least that'll get the ball out of Mitchell's hands.
Shit. That kind of got me thinking a little bit because
you know what I'm saying?
Now I don't know about Pritchard though, but like it got me thinking who could Ugo. No, it got me thinking who because I know a lot about with when we played the Knicks in the playoffs.
Put White on.
I was literally about to say like either him I don't know if Boucher's probably not gonna start, but like Ugo. It's probably Ugo, but then that'll leave Jalen on Donovan, which I'm not sure because he's not. Yeah. I don't think he's 100%, but that's the more ideal matchup there. So I don't know.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't hate Derek or Jalen on Donovan. If you want to let Ugo guard. Okay. Well, we'll shut the fuck up. But it could also be like I wouldn't hate putting mine out on Donovan Mitchell. Maybe I would. Maybe I don't love that.
I like it.
Who's he guarding? Yeah, he guarded like Fears full court for some possessions in the Pelicans game. Now, don't get me wrong, Fears is not Mitchell, but I don't know. I'm very curious to see what the matchups look like now.
He's like,
you're good. You go ahead.
He's been guarding guards like exclusively, right? So, Cade, then Fears, then Poole, Ugo, Cade, Brunson. You know what I'm saying? So he's been using those guys to pressure. Like that's all he's been using those guys for 94 feet pressure every game. So it would be difficult because if Minot's on Mitchell, then that means yes, we have a significantly smaller player on Mobley or Allen, but Allen on the boards might be more. So yeah, I don't know because like I've been telling people this all off season. Like, yes, you lost a lot of talent, but you lost so much defensive versatility with Drew, Tatum, Al, KP, Luke. Like the Celtics had options and probably the most out of any team. With you can put Drew on a center or you can put him on a point guard. You could put Tatum on a center or a point guard. So it was just a lot. But I think Minot's versatility helps us a lot. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what we do to start this game.
Me too, man. I've loved Minot through the preseason, through the first couple games. I was shocked to not see him play against the Knicks. It just felt like, to that point, he had been someone who had like undoubtedly earned minutes. Yeah. He was the one free agent signing that came in and just immediately took care of business every time he got on the floor. He hustled, blocked shots, loud dunks, 3-pointers he made in the preseason. Like it was like, whoa, they got this guy at a minimum. And then he doesn't even play in like what was at that point like the biggest game. Like that was New York was a big deal. Glad to see he's starting again today. I think there was a lot of experimentation going on from Joe, where it's like we got to see certain lineups play together. We got to see certain guys play next to each other to see what the numbers tell us. And obviously the last game they actually win, so it sticks. The numbers tell you good things. I saw Spoonie in the Discord today put up different plus minus where it was Minot and Cade as a unit played really well together, and the net ratings were really good, rather. So starting them again makes a lot of sense, and it also helps your rebounding because Minot is probably the closest to Tatum in terms of frame. He's not jacked by any means. Like he's not muscular like that, but like he will crash the glass. He will do a lot of the same things, and he has enough size to hold his own, boxing out bigger players and crashing against power forwards and centers. So I think that might be a real solution to their problem. But Cleveland is a completely different animal than New Orleans is. So we're just going to have to wait and see on that. Jack is unfortunately experiencing the Garden Wi-Fi. Prayers up.
Prayers up for my boy, man.
I meant to send you a warning before we started because sometimes it happens to both of us, and it might happen to both of us as the show goes on. So if we both freeze, feel free to steer the ship because you stream by yourself. We trust you. I'm so afraid to put somebody on these streams with us when it's like their first time doing like if I was RJ and I had to have RJ try and do the ship by himself, that would have been brutally mean. But for now, I think Jack's here.
Yeah, nah, he's moving. Oh, he's moving.
Yeah, he's moving.
Moving.
I switched to a hotspot. So
okay,
we're gonna let the hotspot cook for a moment. But yeah, I'm nervous and excited for this game. I think they have the potential to get generationally killed on the glass.
This is all-time whomping.
That said, if they do manage to control the glass and or combat it with better shooting and other things, I think this is a perfect example of a game where it's like, okay, we'll see. Like you can see the path forward. Now for that to happen, I think Pritchard and Derek White have to shoot the ball like they have this season so far. Neemias Queta needs to lock in on the boards like he did against New Orleans and less like he did in the other 3 games. Everyone needs to get rebounds. You need Minot, you need Jalen, you need Pritchard, you need Derek. But if they can do that and the shooting comes back in, listen, I think they have a chance in every game they play. That's just how I believe Joe Mazzulla will coach them. That's how I believe they play. I think it's the style of basketball they play is very high risk, high reward. So on the one hand, I do think they have a very good chance to win a lot of games this year. At the other end, it is very inherently risky the way they're playing.
I think this is the game that we need to see that pace that they were talking about all training camp, and like, yeah, they improved, but by like 3 spots. Like they were dead last season. Now they're 26th. So yeah, they improved, but the way they was talking was like, man, we finna be the Pacers or some shit. Like it was crazy. But I know that's harder said than harder said than done. But and it's super hard to run when you don't get defensive rebounds. It's easier to run when you get the board, you can just fly out. But when guys hit shots after you give up 2 offensive rebounds, you kind of get demoralized. You kind of just hold it. You get slow. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But with Allen and Mobley, you have to run in this game. And there's been times where they have. The beginning of the Pistons game where Pritchard was just flying up the court. And then I think it's been the beginning of almost every game where they start off really fast. But then as the game goes on, they have that 10 to 12 point lead, and then it starts to dwindle. The pace starts to dwindle. They start to shoot worse. They start to give up offensive rebounds. So I think just staying the course. I believe Joe said like he was trying to have this team play like he wants them to play for the whole game, and that he said that they were like 12 minutes off. I think that they need to keep that up, right? They need to keep chipping at that 12 and try to get as close to playing their style as long as possible.
It's a good point. They definitely just have made it a habit starting fast, especially in the last couple games. And then even in the Knicks game, right? Like the Knicks game, they were up like 8 after the first quarter.
Yeah.
Like they started well, and it was like, whoa, like they might be competitive against New York. Like none of us saw this coming today. And then the game just turned on its head and went exactly how it had gone. We all watched it. It was bad. The big takeaway that I had from New Orleans was like, did the bench find something in the fourth quarter? Did something happen for them? Did they kind of have something click where it was like, wait, we can like have successful stretches of basketball as a unit? Because the starters are playing really well. They're getting off to great starts, and then the bench comes in and the wheels come off. And throughout the Pelicans game, it was going that way. It was first quarter, starters good. Second quarter, Pelicans creep back in. Third quarter, first half, starters play well. Bench kind of comes in. New Orleans keeps hanging around. And then the bench just clicked. Anthony Simons went ballistic in the fourth quarter. And all of a sudden, the Pelicans are looking at a 30-point deficit. It was lovely. And to be honest with you, I think Anthony Simons has his work cut out for him today. Like he's going to be squaring off against Lonzo, who's a great defender off Cleveland's bench, who's been playing really well for them this year. But if he's going to be impactful for the Celtics, he has to be able to be consistent. And we haven't seen him be consistent on really either side of the ball. He's clearly trying to defend. Like any notion that he wouldn't come in and make an effort is gone. But it's just like, is it affecting his ability to create on offense? He doesn't really look that comfortable with the ball in his hands. None of the guards have been very comfortable shooting the ball. They've been awful. You guys talked about it. It's like the Celtics are 3-1. We're talking about this game as like a clash of juggernauts today. If Derek White and Peyton Pritchard aren't pumpkins ahead of Halloween. But now you've got Anthony Simons in the mix, and he's been the best shooting of the three of them. And yet we don't know whether or not he's a great fit yet. And him becoming a great fit is going to be huge for the window of this team's success, or the floor to ceiling of this team's success. It's like, he's bad, they're going to be bad. He's good, that really elevates how good they can be.
Nick, what are your Anthony Simons thoughts? You're muted, by the way.
So it's really interesting how, like, just as an offensive player, you see like two sides of him, where him bringing up the ball against pressure should never happen ever again. Like even in the preseason, in the preseason, like Jamal Shea was getting in his shit, and like he just couldn't do it. And then, which is cool, like because Shea is a dog, right? And then it happens against everybody else. I'm like, oh, okay, so this probably shouldn't be something that he's doing. And then it was such a difference between the Raptors preseason games and then the Cavs one, where I think he was like 6 for 12 in the Cavs game, and he was 6 for 9 from three, but 5 of his threes were catch and shoot threes, and he wasn't bringing it up, so he had like only 2 turnovers. So I just think him as a handler and him as a scorer, when you put him in positions where he can just score, he shows he can do that. But even in the Pistons game where he like picked up his scoring a little bit, when they blitzed him, and he had to make a play for someone else, he just couldn't do it. So it's just kind of crazy to see like the duality of him as an offensive player. Of course, on the defensive side of the ball has been, the biggest questions. And I don't know if he'll improve. I saw a stat that he was like people shoot like 38% against him. That doesn't mean he's an elite defender, but at the very
DeAndre Ayton was also on that graphic,
right.
by the
It
way.
was some people on that graphic that's like, okay, come on now. But the one thing I did know is that a lot in Portland, like he was just like there were plays where he was just not trying. Like there was literally plays where he was just not trying. And here I was like, well, if he's not going to try, he's not going to play. So if he likes basketball, he's going to try. And that is what it is. So I think I think the first game he was actually really solid. It's dipped a little bit since then, but I think he's been either average or slightly below average, and that's better than what he's been basically his whole career. So again, Jack, yeah, I just need the consistency. Because he exploded in that Pelicans game, and that aided our bench from not being ass. So I would love that.
Yeah, my thing with Simons.
What a
is
way
just
to
like,
put it.
Like you said, if he's playing off the ball, coming off screens, there's someone sets a screen for him and he even dribbles around in the half court. Like, fine, sure, I get it. He's slowly, at least in my opinion, I've said the same multiple times. Like, if Anthony Simons gets the ball, it's probably going to be an Anthony Simons shoots the ball possession. Like, that's just kind of what it's turning into, which is fine, right? Like, that's not a knock on Anthony Simons. Like, that's just kind of what this team is asking him to be. But that puts him in a very niche situation of if the shots aren't going in, you're not going to be very useful. And then on the other end, if the defense isn't effective and the shots aren't going in, then you probably shouldn't even be on the court. It's just like, I don't love the fit because he's not a very multi-tooled player. If the shots are going in, he can absolutely help to win basketball games. You saw New Orleans. Like, I'm not denying that. There is no denying that. But when the I said this a million times again, but like, there's a difference between not trying and just not being able to process the game quickly. It just doesn't seem like he can process the game defensively very quickly. And unfortunately, I don't know how much of a fixable issue that is. And if that's a problem, I don't know how much better his defense will get. Because teams are going to target him. Teams are going, to go after him. They're going to understand that, and that's going to be tough. And I respect that he's trying. I respect the effort. And like you said, Nick, like I think he needs to do that to get on the court. I think Joe said that. I think everybody said that. But I don't know. The fit on both ends has been pretty questionable to me. And if he gets hot, play him 30 minutes, let him get hot, let him come off screens, let him shoot the lights out. And then if he's not, it's probably just going to be a 20-minute night to get his 7 to 8 shots, shoot 1 of 7, 2 of 8, something like that. And that'll be that. And that's fine, right? Like that'll fit for now, but I don't know how much of a long-term fit that's going to be with this specific group and the way they want to play.
We're going to have to wait and see. Hopefully he's able to carry it over, though. Like, there's part of me that is holding out hope, which may not be justified. That it was just a getting used to it thing. Like maybe something clicked for him where he's going to be able to be comfortable shooting the ball.
What was it getting used to?
Anthony Simons struggling to play a good roll off the bench / also be efficient shooting the ball. Like, I think it might even be including Friday or Monday. Like 27% from three is just not what you need from him. Like, he is going to be more effective if he's able to make catch and shoot jumpers. And in fairness to him, his jump shot does look clean. It looks like he's very comfortable shooting it off the catch. And he could be somebody that is a reliable option on kickouts, which the Celtics clearly need right now. Like, the guys that are usually doing it are not doing it. I'm not saying this is like a revelation. Everybody expects him to be able to shoot threes. But it would be nice if the thing that we expected him to do was happening consistently. That would help him ease into the lineup a little bit better. As a defender, it's going to take time. Fitting into the offensive game might take a little bit of time. But Nick said it. Definitely don't want him handling the ball off the court. Which is, by the way, mind-boggling that he cannot dribble through pressure. You were playing with the Portland Trailblazers for the last several seasons. The last few, they've been awful. He's been the guy. He can't handle it when the defenses pay attention to him. What are we talking about?
Bro, that was me in 6th grade. And then I was like, I'm too old to be getting pressed by people and turning the ball over. So I was like, okay, but no. So, two things. I remember when during like training camp, I think Noah asked him about like defensive drills, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm doing like defensive playmaking stuff," and he was like, "These are things I like never worked on before," and I was like, "But huh? What do you mean?" And so I think he's still getting used to basic like defensive terminology and like things like I could not believe he said these are things that I've never been taught before, and I was like, what? So
Also hilarious.
right, I was like, so I don't know, and to like what Jack was saying about like if he's hitting shots, then you play him, right? If not, blah blah. Blah. This kind of reminds me of like the first 2 years of Hauser, where he wasn't a good defender, so it was like, okay, if you don't hit threes, you can't play. And then Hauser slowly became a quality defender, so now he has a longer leash. But in the first 3 games, Simons shot 29% from 3, and then the New Orleans game shot him up to like 36. So if he can give you that and like he can get hot, then of course you will benefit from that. But Donovan or whoever, like I'm really interested to see this game for everybody, but especially him and our guys on the glass, which will have to be everybody. So,
Nick, what do you make of that? The rebounding issues. We've like kind of kicked it back and forth. One thing Jack had suggested is like the way that they're playing defense, like scrambling around and stuff, has impacted their ability to actually like get back and get on the glass. Like where, Jalen's helping Pritchard, and then someone's having to have Jalen's back, and then it eventually results in Nemi like having to be out on the perimeter, and then all of a sudden they have no big bodies boxing anybody out.
I think that is part of it, but I remember Joe saying that after the Pistons game, and I watched every offensive rebound. I didn't see it that way, because he said that I think Gary asked him like, is what do you have to do, and he was like, yeah, we kind of started playing aggressive on Cade's pick and rolls, and like that was kind of leaving us a little spread out, and that was allowing guys to like cut behind us. I didn't see that in the fourth quarter like at all. There were times where of course they're like hedging Cade, but they had ample time and they got back in time to rebound. It was a couple times where Duren was just stronger than Kada, which he's stronger than Kada. And then there was 2 times in the fourth quarter where Derek White just didn't box out anybody. And then there was there was times where Derek White didn't box out anybody. Then there was 2 where they switched the pick and roll, so Jalen had to box out Duren, which you're not really gonna fault him for that because he actually boxed him out, but Duren just went over his back. And there was 2 of them where Jalen Duren just went over their back and they didn't call it. So it's a mixture of everything. It's a mixture of everything. But at least in the Detroit game, I didn't see the spread out thing as a problem because that would mean that they were covering and they did not have time to get back and put a body on somebody. Everyone in the fourth quarter, at least in that game, they were there. They just didn't do what needed to be done, or Duren was just a monster.
Yeah, you read my mind. I watched those Detroit offensive rebounds. It was you hit the 3 names. Derek didn't box out well enough. Jalen didn't box out well enough. Nemi didn't box out well enough. Jalen was more of a culprit in the first couple quarters. He was just kind of floating into space. Derek's just small, and so he jumps before he boxes out. Like he just instead of just like trying to like get position then go, he like jumps too early and he gets caught. From what I've seen, I don't know if you saw the same thing. Nemi just boxes out too far into the paint. Like he's boxing out inside the arc.
His box outs aren't doing anything.
No, he's boxing out like inside the restricted
I
area.
know exactly what you're talking about. Like
not going to bounce directly down, so they're just going over his head.
He has position. If the ball goes in, then he can grab it. Like he's got it covered.
Yes.
Like especially last year, I put this in my player preview of him. He would face guard block out so much, and
he still does it.
newsflash, buddy, that's illegal. So I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I saw that a lot in the Pistons game where like Durant would kind of like push him, and now he's like under the basket, and now he's like this under the basket. Oh, great position, dude. But Durant can just get the ball because you're under the rim. So I think, okay, I will say it is tough for him to do his work early because I was watching Wizards Sixers, and Drummond is still like an amazing offensive rebounder, and it's
Greatest rebounder of all time.
It's because he does his work early, right? And on offense, he doesn't have a role. Like he's screening a lot less than Kata is, and then on defense, he's Andre Drummond, so he's playing drop, and he's just sitting right there. I think Kata is athletic enough, he's long enough to switch occasionally, and if we're hedging, he's going to be further away than he has to run into the paint. But Drummond does his work early, and he's also like strong as shit. He's large. Kata is tall, but he's slim. You know what I'm saying? But Drummond does his work super early, and he carves out space, and then he gets the rebound. Kata doesn't have the strength yet to do that. I think he's still good enough to do a lot of things. I think the Pelicans game, like screening off, he has 7 offensive rebounds. Like he can do things. It's just that sometimes his deficiencies come out now because his role is heightened, and they're gonna just have to work through it. It is what it is.
A lot of work to be done. A lot of season left. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to tonight's game. We can wrap it up there. Nick, is there anything in the pipeline coming out soon? I'm sure you'll have breakdowns from this game, big game tomorrow. Anything on Celtics blog we should be on the lookout for?
Yeah, of course. Whoever does something, if anybody does something this game, I'll look into that. But I'm working on a offensive like playbook thing for the Celtics. So I'll probably update that every like 5 games. So after this game, I've already gone through like the first 4. And they're all like the sets have been cool. They're all offense, just we can't hit shots. So yeah, that's that's probably gonna come out tomorrow or the day after. But yeah, man, appreciate y'all.
Of course. Thank you for coming. We'll have you back soon. Anything you want to plug, Jack?
I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm hoping to make a video tomorrow on I have like 3 different ideas, but we'll see if I get it done. I'm still exhausted from the trip, but
all right. Well, we can wrap it there. Thank you, everyone, for coming out. Thank you, Nick, for joining us. Here's Joe.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start